A lot of America is waking up because they're realizing food is medicine. Are you waking up?
Survival homestead teaching farm. Hey, hey, bless the dirt, bless the thorn. Survival homestead teaching farm. Oh, oh, we learn to live and live some more. Hard nights, sweet corn, hands rough, hearts warm. Survival homestead teaching farm.
When was the last time your doctor looked you straight in the eye and said, "You know what? I think you need more broccoli"? Probably never. Instead, it usually goes something like this. Your blood pressure is up. Here's a prescription. Your cholesterol is high. Here's another prescription. You're tired all the time. Let's run some tests. And here's another prescription while you're waiting. Now, don't get me wrong, modern medicine has done some incredible things. They're great at emergency medicine. If I get hit by a tractor on the homestead, please don't wheel me into the herb garden and hand me a handful of parsley. Call an ambulance. But for many long-term health concerns, more and more Americans are asking an interesting question. What if the fork is just as important as the pharmacy? That's the ideal behind the food as medicine movement, and honestly, it's about time. Have you noticed that half the grocery store doesn't even look like food anymore? You walk down the cereal aisle and think, how do they fit 17 different shades of neon into one breakfast? Some products have ingredient labels so long they need their own table of contents. If I have to Google half the ingredients, I'm starting to wonder if I'm buying food or a chemistry experiment. Meanwhile, your great-grandmother's shopping list looks something like this: eggs, milk, butter, carrots, flour, beans, done. She didn't need a PhD in food science just to buy soup. Here's what is exciting. People all across America are starting to rediscover something our grandparents and great-grandparents already knew. Real food nourishes the body. That's not some trendy new idea. It's actually a very old one. For generations, families grew gardens, raised chickens, canned vegetables, fermented foods, made bone broth, and cooked from scratch. Not because it was fashionable, but because it was simply how life worked. Today, many people are returning to those habits because they're looking for ways to support their health through everyday choices, starting with what's on their plate. And that's what food as medicine is really about. It's not about claiming that food cures every disease. It's about recognizing that what we eat can play a major role in supporting our overall health. Think about it. Your body is constantly rebuilding itself. Your skin, your muscles, your hormones, your immune system, even parts of your bones are continually renewing over time. And what are those building materials made of? The food you eat. It's a little like building a house. If you use quality lumber, solid nails, and a sturdy foundation, you have a better chance of building something that lasts. If you try to build the same house out of cardboard and duct tape, well, good luck during the first thunderstorm. Sometimes I think we've been trying to build healthy bodies while fueling them with things that were invented in a laboratory and marketed with cartoon mascots. That's probably not the blueprint nature had in mind. Now, let's talk about something that's become pretty normal. Walking through the grocery store and seeing foods that our great-grandparents wouldn't recognize if you paid them. Imagine taking your great-grandmother, who canned her own green beans, baked bread from scratch, and churned butter, down the frozen food aisle. She'd probably pick up a package, squint at the ingredient list, and ask, "Is this food, or did NASA accidentally lose something?" Some products have 40 or 50 ingredients. 40 or 50! When did macaroni and cheese become a science project? If your crackers have ingredients that sound like rejected Star Wars characters, it might be worth asking a few questions. This is where homesteaders have been quietly smiling for years. Because while everyone else is discovering food as medicine, homesteaders are over here saying, we've been doing this all along. You grow tomatoes, you pick lettuce, you gather eggs, you harvest herbs, you preserve food. You know exactly what went into producing that meal. No mysterious ingredients. No preservatives you can't pronounce. No artificial colors trying to convince you that blue raspberry is somehow a naturally occurring fruit. Seriously, has anyone ever seen a blue raspberry? I've been gardening for years. I've seen red raspberries, black raspberries, golden raspberries. I've even seen raspberries that the birds got to before I did. Never once have I stumbled across a bright blue raspberry bush. One of the biggest ideas behind the food is medicine movement is nutrient density. Not just eating, but eating foods that are packed with vitamins, minerals, healthy fats, quality proteins, and beneficial plant compounds. Think about spinach. Sure, it's low in calories, but that's not why it's impressive. It's loaded with nutrients. Or sweet potatoes, or blueberries, or garlic, or onions. These foods bring something valuable to the table besides simply filling your stomach. It's kind of like hiring employees. Would you rather hire one person who works hard, shows up on time, solves problems, and encourages everyone else? Or 5 people who spend the day hiding in the break room eating donuts? Some foods are like superstar employees. Others, well, they're just collecting a paycheck. Let's play a little game here. Basket number 1, fresh eggs, garden tomatoes, homemade sourdough, fresh herbs, grass-fed beef, blueberries, broccoli, carrots. Basket number 2, soda, potato chips, candy bars, frozen pizza, energy drinks, frosted snack cakes. Now, which basket do you think your body gets excited about? Your cells are probably looking at basket number 1 saying, oh, finally, we can actually get some work done. Meanwhile, basket number 2 rolls in, and your cells are standing around like construction workers waiting for the delivery truck that somehow brought balloons instead of bricks. Calories provide energy, but nutrients provide the tools your body needs to maintain itself, and that's an important difference. Here's something I think is fascinating. Many people spend hundreds of dollars every month on supplements, while eating meals that are missing the very foods those supplements were designed to complement. Supplements absolutely have their place, especially when someone has documented deficiencies or increased nutritional needs. The only way you would know that is if you have an HTMA test. HTMA stands for hair tissue mineral analysis, and that is something that I personally can help you with. If you're interested, please go to www.theweeddoc.net. If you blindly supplement without knowing where your levels are, you are buying the world's fanciest premium gasoline, then pouring it into a car with 4 flat tires. Maybe, just maybe, we should fix the foundation first. Real food first. Then fill in the gaps where appropriate. That's one reason I love talking about foundational wellness. This is what I do. Sometimes the biggest improvements don't start with the newest trend. They start with the oldest habits. Cooking dinner, growing a garden, eating vegetables, getting enough protein, sleeping well, drinking water. It's not flashy, but it works. Now, before the comment section catches on fire, let me say something important. When people say food is medicine, they don't mean that broccoli replaces a surgeon. If you break your leg, don't tape a cabbage leaf to it and hope for the best. Go to the hospital. If you are having a heart attack, don't stop by the farmer's market first. Call 911. Modern medicine is incredible when it's needed. The food as medicine movement isn't about choosing between doctors and healthy food. It's about recognizing that supporting your health every day with nutritious food may help your body function at its best and may reduce some risk factors for chronic disease over time. Think of it this way: medicine is often like calling the fire department after the house is already burning. Food is more like installing smoke detectors, replacing old wiring, and keeping a fire extinguisher nearby. One helps respond to emergencies, the other helps lower the chances of having one in the first place. You really want both. In many eastern states of the United States, natural medicine is not allowed, which is not right. If you don't have an option of seeing a naturopathic physician, seek ways to prevent rather than trying to cover up the symptoms with pharmaceuticals. One of the reasons I love homesteading is because it naturally pushes us towards healthier habits. When you've spent 3 months growing a tomato, you're probably going to eat it, especially after you've chased squirrels, birds, rabbits, and possibly your own chickens away from it. By the time that tomato finally makes it into the kitchen, it's basically earned its own graduation ceremony. You hold it up like Simba from The Lion King. Behold the survivor! And somehow, that tomato tastes better than anything you can buy at the grocery store. Maybe it's the freshness, maybe it's the hard work. Maybe it's because it has nutrients that any tomato at the grocery store lacks, even if it's organic. Or maybe it's because victory tastes delicious. So, how do you actually start eating more like food is medicine? Honestly, you don't have to overhaul your entire pantry overnight. Small changes adds up. Start by adding one extra vegetable to dinner. Swap sugary drinks for water more often. Cook one more meal at home each week. Grow a few herbs in the windowsill. Plant a couple of tomato plants. Visit a local farmer's market. Read ingredient labels. If the ingredient list reads like a chemistry exam, maybe look for other options. The goal is not perfection, it's simply making the next choice a little better than the last one. Healthy living isn't won in one giant leap, it's built one meal, one habit, and one decision at a time. Here is something I've noticed. People will spend hundreds of dollars on the latest miracle supplement because someone on social media promised it would change their life. Meanwhile, there's a lonely bag of broccoli sitting in the refrigerator thinking, I was here the whole time. Now, don't get me wrong, I believe supplements can absolutely have a role, especially when someone has a documented deficiency or specific nutritional need. I have recommended these many times to my clients. But supplements are exactly what the name says. They supplement a healthy lifestyle. They're not meant to replace one. You can't out-supplement a steady diet of soda, chips, and drive-through burgers any more than you can brush your teeth once a month and expect your dentist to give you a standing ovation. Foundational habits matter. One of my favorite sayings is this: every meal is either feeding health or feeding disease. Now, that's a simplification because health is influenced by many things: sleep, stress, movement, genetics, environment, and more. But it's a good reminder that every bite is an opportunity to nourish your body. Food isn't just fuel, it's information. The nutrients in your food help support everything from your immune system and muscles to your hormones and nervous system. Your body is constantly rebuilding itself using the materials you provide. So why not give it the best materials you can? Is food really medicine? I think food is one of the greatest gifts given to us to help nourish and sustain our bodies. It won't solve every problem, but every day we get the opportunity to choose foods that support our health, our energy, and our future. For us homesteaders, that's nothing new. We've been planting those seeds, literally and figuratively, for generations. Maybe the rest of the country is finally catching up. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you think food really is medicine? What's one food you have added or one processed food you have cut out that made you feel noticeably better? Share your experience in the comments. You never know, your story might encourage someone else to take the first step towards better health. Until next time, keep growing, Keep learning, keep questioning what's on your plate, and remember, the next time someone tells you to eat your vegetables, they might not just be sounding like your mother. They might be giving you some of the best health advice you'll hear all week. SHTF Survival Homestead Teaching Farm thanks you for watching this video. Please continue to help us help you by liking, sharing, and subscribing.
Survival Homestead Teaching